Greetings to all my loyal subjects. King Bob coming at you from King Bob's Kingdom. Tonight, I'm going to do a little tutorial video, or how I like to connect the dots when I'm flying approaches that don't necessarily line up and have discontinuities or vectors or thing of that nature. So in this one, we just did a short flight from LAX down to San Diego. Right now it's on pause. And you can see we have a discontinuity here before we line up from MZB to CG, route discontinuity. So, I love this type of stuff because this is like a puzzle to me. So how are we going to make this work? Well, this one's actually fairly easy if you use your charts. So you can see I've pulled up the chart. And we're going to be landing on runway 27 into San Diego. So I pulled up that chart. The Navigraph is tracking us. That's where we're at. MZB is our last waypoint. So you can see if you did nothing, it's going to continue to fly this heading. Now you could, it's one way to skin the cat. You could continue to fly that heading and then vector yourself around. But just looking at this chart, I see an easier way to do it. But what I'm going to do, or what I would do in this situation, before we get to MZB, we're going to input these waypoints: Clom, the Jade, Cat DG, CRSNR, and then say, and then we'll be able to connect that magenta line, because we're all children of the magenta line apparently, but that'll connect the dots, so to say. Now, another way you could do it is you could literally, you know, from MZB maybe fly like this heading right here, 95. Heading select, and then do a direct to CG. So that's another way to do it. Like I said, there's multiple ways to do this, but the way that makes sense to me just by looking at this chart is MZB to Clom to Jade to Cat DG to CRSNR to say, and then it in and down. So let's take a look at one other thing here. Let's look at our plan. So you can see, let me zoom in here a little bit, that I've created my range rings right here. We have a 15, a 10, and a 6. These are important to me. The 15, when I'm on my final approach, that's where I like to have flaps 1/5, speed in check. 10, I want to make sure I'm starting to be stable on the approach down to 27, and then 6, I want to make sure that I'm already down to flaps 30, landing gears down. We're fully set up for landing. Just a quick reminder to me. So you can see there's MZB. If we step through this, you can step through it by clicking the step button here. The next waypoint is CG. So you may be thinking, okay, why not just go direct to CG from MZB? Well, we could try that. Let's see what happens. So if you wanted to see what that looks like before you execute it, just click on the waypoint CG, and put it up where the boxes are, where the discontinuity is. And what you're going to get not a good option, because look what this is really hard to see, but look what this is trying to do. So if you look from MZB, this white dashed line, you're telling it to try to go direct to CG. It's not going to work all that great. It's trying to do something funky here, so that's not even an option. So at that point, I would just go ahead and erase that. So what I want to do is, though, I want to, in this situation, I want to input these waypoints like I said. And that'll connect the dots for us, and it'll make our lives so much easier. So cloms, K-L-O-M-N, K-L-O-M-N, and I believe I could do this when we're in active pause. Yep. Execute it. Next one's going to be a Jade, A-J-A-D-E. Like so. Execute it. Cat DG. Execute it. CRSNR. CRSNR. Execute that. Still got the discontinuity. And then S-A-Y-A-E. S-A-Y-A-E. Now you can see we still have the discontinuity, but just looking at, the chart here, CG would be the next logical waypoint on our approach down to 27. So grab CG, put it in the then, or the disco right there. Execute. Now you look at your legs. Now we got no discontinuities. Let's take a look to see. So let's step through this. So we're at MZB, or we're going to be MZB. You can see it's already connected to dots. It's made that magenta line we're all familiar with. So let's go ahead and step through that. So MZB, the clom, to a J, to cat DG, to CRSNR, to CG, and then down to 27. So that looks like it's going to work fine. One thing you may have noticed, though, is that my little range rings here were never... I like to get beyond the 15-mile range ring. So we could fly this out if you really wanted to, but just by looking at the charts here, got some elevation out there, so we're just going to follow what they say to do. So again, 15 miles out, I like to do flaps 1/5, get my speed in check. So obviously we're not going out to 15, so once we get maybe to a Jade right here, we'll start worrying about our flaps 1/5, come around, start slowing down. Landing gear will come down, flaps 20, then 30, then land. And let's see if we can pull this off. So let's see if this works. Pretty sure it's going to. Again, this isn't the only way, but this is the way that looks logical to me. It's probably the way you may get vectored in via ATC anyways if you were using it, but give it a go. So we can minimize this because we don't need that anymore. I'm going to take it off pause. Okay, descending down. I set my altitude for 6,000 because mandatory 6,000 at clom, so we'll roll it down as we get further down. It's down to 2,000. So just let this fly its way out. Now you could go all the way out to MZB, but I'm already seeing a little shortcut. We could probably just go direct to clom once we get a little bit further down the way here, but That's up to you. You can follow the magenta line, or you can, you know, tweak this a little bit more. Instead of doing this, why not just do this? Will that work? Pretty sure it will. Got a nice little wind today, too. And there's San Diego, the city down there, and the airport is right there. So yeah, I think I'm going to go direct to Clom right now because why not? So again, choose Clom, put it on your next waypoint, which is MZB. Click execute. Now we're going to cut that corner a little bit more there. This should work out fine, actually. And then once we get to Clom, we're going to start to worry about our... I don't have the charts up anymore. Further descent down, which is a 2,000 with the final descent down in San Diego. Plane's ascending nicely here. There was a 210 speed restriction too, so why don't we just roll that in right now? Like so, and I believe that doesn't show it. And the plane's going to start to slow down. And you can see the elevation out in the distance, so probably not a great idea to be going further on this heading out. Just follow what the chart said to do. And from the way, for the rest of the way in, we'll control the speeds ourselves. There's Clom coming up. K-L-O-M-N. I guess that's Clom. Clomn. Let's set our bottom altitude here, which is 2,000. See how this works out. Okay, there's Clom. I'm going to start to think about getting my flaps in position because we're probably about 15 miles out right now. So flaps will go to 1. I'll roll my speed down to the flap 1 speed. Plane's going to start to descend now because we're beyond that 6,000 restriction. It's going to get us down to 2. I think there's more restrictions in here, but I think it, yeah, it looks like CG's at 2,700. Let's see if it follows it or not. It should. And we'll go down flaps 5. And then slow it down even more. 77 is a good number. We already have our VREF speed of 137. The rest of the plane is configured. And the reason why I did flaps 1 and 5 now, obviously I would have done if I was coming this way, or this way actually, would have done flaps 1, 5 here, but obviously we're never going to get out there, so I just chose a random point here that looks like it was roughly about 15 miles from the runway. And this green banana here is where it thinks you're going to hit the whatever altitude you have rolled in, which is 2,000 feet right now. That's pretty. Cool approach. In the rosy FedEx livery. Okay. Now arm approach. I usually like to hand fly this one down anyways. But we get it armed anyways. Slow myself down a little bit more. How about, I don't know, 170. We'll do VREF 137 plus 5, 142. What kind of wind we going to have? Hopefully we don't have a tailwind. Looks like we're going to have some sort of crosswind here. Well, that's lovely. Right into the sun. She's going to continue to descend here. It should probably capture the localizer soon. And I like to make sure I am set up early. So this is our 6 mile. That's where I like to have my gear down. So, get my flaps rolling. Start slowing the plane down to 142. Flaps can come full. 137 plus 5 is 142. BREF speed. You not see the runway out there. Going to be at 2000 at Toke, T-O-K-E, let's see. Be close. So a headwind going on there with a slight crosswind component to it. Like we've got the VNAV path. Descend. Yeah, I'll take over my plane. I can see the runway out there. It's right there. Nice headwind. .777 into San Diego. These are like your glide slope and localizer diamonds, so you can
1,000.
Follow them in if you want, or you could just eyeball it like I'm going to do right now.
$500.
We're low.
Approaching minimums.
That's okay. We can make it work. That's what I do.
400. Minimums.
Back over on center line here.
$300. $200.
Looking good. Looks like we got it made.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
A little off the center line, try to get back onto it. Not great center line discipline, but hey, we got it down. We can take this exit right here. Flaps can come up. Oh, I never armed a speed brake on that. Oopsie. And we'll take a look at the replay to see how that all worked out. But as you can see, that worked out perfectly. Now we'll stop the plane right there. Okay. Let's pull up touchdown FX. And for that landing, we had a 170. Gave us an 84 score. But what I love about this, it has a built-in replay functionality. So if we click on, let's do that view first. Sim. I'm going to move all this out of the way, like so, and like so. Let's watch this landing. That's a cool view. Got a little bit of crab going on. I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. Didn't decrab enough. I believe I'll touch it. We're gonna find out. Rudder it. Yeah, off center line big time. But hey, we got it down. Now we can get back over the center line. Let's check out another view. Got to get better. I have to get better with my center line discipline, or my decrabbing. It's crabbed okay here. I wonder if the wind changed.
Low terrain. Too low terrain. Too low terrain. Too low terrain.
I don't think so. Let's see how this one looks. I got it down. Nice landing. Yeah, that's why not. Past the city of San Diego. Boats in the harbor. And here we go. And she's down. So, quick recap. Let's pull the charts back up again. Right by 27. So we were coming in on approach was 27. We did the RNAV. So that did indeed work. So basically, before we got to MNZB, which was our last waypoint here, we inputted these waypoints. CG was the next one that we had. None of this stuff existed. We added it, connected the dots, and landed. It's one way you could have did it. It's the way I would do it, just by looking at the chart. Just makes sense to me to do it that way. Another way, of course, would have been, as you're coming down here, I don't know, maybe when you got to this point here, you could have did like a 95 heading select, and then maybe vectored yourself in, and then eventually did a direct to CG. But, you know, why make life difficult? Use the tools, use your charts, use your waypoints. But it's a cool approach. Try it. Los Angeles, KLAX to KSAN. I took off on 24 left and came in on runway 27, the RNAV approach. So pop it up in SimBrief, and you'll have yourself a nice little flight in, and maybe you could learn something from this. Good little learning experience on how to make those dots connect with the tools you have, the charts. You know, so hopefully you learned something from this. I always learn something from this. I love this portion of the flight, the approaches, because, like I said, it's like a puzzle, putting pieces together. And this one worked out pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. So this is King Bob. I think I am done for the evening. So see ya.